Welcome back. We welcome to the show Elaine Scott and her twins Thomas and Jack, her daughter Abigail, and Heidi Coleman from the Royal Inland Hospital Foundation. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. We were approached by the Royal Inland Hospital Foundation to have Elaine and her twins on the show after she had a truly amazing experience at Royal Inland Hospital. Elaine, you've had a very rough ride in the last couple of years, first of all, the last year specifically. Elaine found out that she was in heart failure when she was pregnant with her twins, Thomas and Jack, and that's where the story begins. Elaine, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how that day was going. You're a marathon runner, so you just thought, oh, I'm out of breath a little, I'm not feeling right, maybe I should go to the hospital, I'm pregnant, and I'm having breathing problems, I feel lightheaded. What happened?
I was being followed really closely for twin pregnancy. Most of my symptoms could actually be sort of chalked up to, well, you're carrying two babies, it's summer, it's Kamloops, so you're going to be short of breath, You're going to be hot, you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So there wasn't really anything of concern, but that day before I went in, it was just, it had kind of just hit that next level. There was the shortness of breath that's sort of typical to pregnancy was amplified a little bit. It almost sounded like vacuuming Lego when I was breathing. That was kind of the scary part. It's like, well, this just can't be normal.
Wow.
So that was sort of the trigger to make the call the next day, to think maybe I should get it checked out. It's a weekend. I had an appointment scheduled sort of for the next Tuesday, but they had always been really, my obstetrician had always been really clear with me that if you have any questions, if you want to get things checked out, like that's what labor and delivery is there for.
So in you went and you found out that your heart was working at 20% of normal.
Yes.
That's shocking.
It was definitely unexpected. They, especially because that wasn't what they were actually looking at. They had sort of anticipated when they first started looking, they thought, oh, maybe there's blood clots in the lungs. It was almost kind of an after the fact. They did ultrasounds looking for up and down my legs, looking for those blood clots, things like that. And then when it came time to do the echocardiogram, that's when they realized, okay, your heart's got this fluid surrounding it, and just due to the positioning of the babies, there wasn't really any safe way to drain it, and the function of my heart was significantly reduced.
So obviously a very complicated situation was ensuing, Heidi, and she ended up having what was, I understand, a fantastically positive experience with Dr. Chow, all of the people that helped you. You had to go to Vancouver. It was very complicated, but here you are with your twins. You made it through, and your heart's better.
Yeah, it's definitely on its way. It's a bit of a long recovery, but I'm in the vascular improvement programs, the rehab program, so I go once a week, and I'm monitored kind of with increasing levels of activity just to make sure that everything's happening the way it should be. So not quite ready to run a marathon yet.
No, good Lord. I think those flowers are edible, not that you necessarily want Jack to have some of it. We have a video because, of course, Elaine has been now the focal point of a video for Royal Inland Hospital Foundation, and we thought we'd watch a little bit about her story. Heidi, you approached Elaine after all of her trials and tribulations and said, would you speak about how Royal Inland Hospital helped make the difference for you? You guys do these campaigns because you want people to understand the lives that are being saved and changed as a result of what you guys do.
And in Elaine's case, it was incredible because we're trying to raise money for pediatrics and NICU, and then also for cardiology, because we're trying to improve our cardiology department, and emergency and mental health. We have a campaign for that. So out of, let's say, the four, she definitely fit in for three, and I won't speak to her mental health, but I would imagine it was a bit stressful. So we just said, wow, that with one person we can do talk about all four of our campaigns. And of course, her children were in the NICU, and And of course we understand about cardiology and the equipment that she used. Some of it was just newly bought for the cardiology department. So we approached Elaine and she said she would do it and help us with the movie where she reenacted a bit of stuff, and she did great. And it was fun for the staff at the hospital. I hope it was fun for you. And her husband was in it a bit, and people get it, you know. They understood the emergency. You come, and then we're going to take care of you.
How can you speak to the positivity of what happened with the experience you had? I mean, it just sounds like people greeted you. It was an unexpected situation, and it turned into a major situation, and it was handled well.
It was fabulous. I mean, and it was completely unexpected for me. That was really my first. I mean, when I had Abigail 11 years ago, I was in and out. It was smooth sailing. There was no issues. There was no complications. That had been the extent of my experience with our medical system. So then when I went in, I was in labor and delivery, and they checked the babies. Everything cleared out. And the obstetrician on call there had said, okay, babies are good, nothing to worry about. You need to go downstairs to the ER department because something's going on with you, but that's not for me, that's for the next. So then I went down, and it was just one thing after another. They just kept testing and testing, and then I was lucky that Dr. Chow was there, and he was back and forth in between sort of all of the tests and saying, okay, this is what we're looking at, and best case scenario is that we're gonna find a hospital that will be able to sort of deal with the babies if they happen to come early, as well as to deal with the heart stuff. So he worked on that end of it, which took a significant amount of time as well. And then kind of were communicating back to me, this is the plan, this is what we're doing, might be what you want to think about, because at that point, Brent, who works for Wildfire, I mean, it was August, so he was sort of in the middle of fire season. And I was kind of asking the question, like, should I be pulling him away from fires and work? Should he be packing a bag? What's going on here?
Well, you're faced with a life and death situation where your husband might have been left raising 3 children had this not gone well, and thankfully it did, and that's what the Royal Inland Hospital is all about.
And what was great about that initial day, I mean, it's your heart, so they're trying to keep it low stress for sure. And I didn't, at that particular point, grasp sort of the gravity of the situation. So. I mean, they were great at just sort of
keeping you calm and
not keeping me panicked. I mean, I was sitting in that ER bed and just thinking, okay, there's just another little hiccup, and here we go. And that was, it didn't really sink in until a little bit later.
Yes, exactly how grave the situation was. Well, we're happy that you're here. You have 2 beautiful twins and a beautiful daughter who's going into grade 6 at Aberdeen Elementary. So I'm glad that things have worked out. And Heidi, we're out of time, but just really a positive story when it comes to how Royal Inland Hospital Foundation is helping to change lives.
That's right. Keeping the doctors here, the doctors strong, the equipment that we need, so we'll all live happy and healthy lives.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here today.
For sure, thanks.
If you would like to donate or learn more about what RIH Foundation does, they are fundraising to save lives, and this is what's happened in this story. Information's on the screen. We're back in 90 seconds. Stay with us.